Alright, so basically, this is how we're going to be doing fake news. First, live stream, really, that's actually going on YouTube. So anyway, if you're watching this, it will be posted on YouTube. So anyway, here we go, fake news topics, what we got here. All right. Now, if you guys don't actually take a look at this now, you can obviously take a look at after I post it, obviously. So anyway, let's go get ourselves comfy and let's talk about this fake news topic. It's called, did George Soros pay March for Our Lives protesters $300 each? Now, this is honestly something that's been going on in the news a lot. A lot of protests have been happening on Saturday about the March for Our Lives protests to tighten up, gun control. So, anyway, so the question is, did this man actually paid protesters $300 each? That's the question. The answer is, well, you'll find out here in just a moment. But that would be nice. That would actually be nice, but unfortunately, stupid. Why would you want to pay protesters $300 each? I mean, they're just going out for a little walk, marching all across cities, and they're doing it off of Craigslist. Yeah, I mean, that's just stupid. I mean, why would you want to give someone $300 because of protest on Craigslist? I mean, yes, it's nice to give people $300 for a protest, but not with Craigslist, okay? Don't try that. Just figure out how to be someone who works at a bank, get them the checks, so forth. But really, you only get checks at like the end of the month, so who cares? Yeah. So enough with that. So as hundreds of thousands of students and supporters took to the streets to protest gun violence, conspiracy theorists blamed a familiar boogeyman. So if you guys had saw Jacob Wool's Twitter caught red-handed, March for Our Lives organizers paid protesters as much as $300 each. You can go ahead and go take a look at that, provide the information now. Actually, you can't really read that too well, so let me go make it as dim as possible so that you guys can actually take a look at it. Might be a good idea. Alright, you guys read that now? If you guys can't, well, it's because I'm using 1080p webcam. That would be nice to actually grab myself a 1080p by 60 frames. That'd be even nicer. So, just put it that way. Yeah. So the claim is organizers just basically working for billionaire George Soros ran Craigslist ads for offering $300 each to individuals participating in the 24th of March 2018 March for Our Lives protest, which of course would be nice. But like I said, who wants to give someone $300 for a protest? That's a question. I mean, who would do that? Just give them a little lighter, like maybe $25, $10, but not $300. Like, geez, who would even do that? And it's so obvious. No, that's the answer. No. Like, who would even do that? First of all. So, but yeah, the origin is basically hundreds of thousands of people that turned out across the United States on the 24th of March to participate in the March for Our Lives protest, which is a grassroots protest against gun control organized primarily by students moved to action as a result of Parkland and Gray Hills High School, or is it Gray Hills or is it Gray Mills? I don't know. If comments are available, tell me down below. Right? So I haven't watched the news in about a week. So, anyway. So yeah, lots of victims had died, and obviously that's why this is taking place. But within a day of the nationwide marches, conspiracist websites began trumpeting the claim Organizers working for George Soros had paid protesters $300 each apiece to march and carry signs for the event. A report on yournewswire.com has provided, for example, cited tweets by conservative Twitter personality Jacob Wohl purporting to provide evidence that the marches weren't as grassroots as they appeared. So they said exactly this. March for Our Lives organizers paid protesters $300 each to attend the protest in D.C., according to reports. Journalist Jacob Wohl found ads posted on Craigslist where Soros organizers looked to recruit paid protesters to attend the march. So, anyway, here is just one of many of the Craigslist ads where Soros organizers were recruiting paid protesters for hashtag March Our Lives for Our Lives. We'll expect the MSM to talk about this. The editor-in-chief for the Washington Reporter tweeted. So Wall's tweets contained screenshots of the Craigslist ads he claimed were used to solicitate paid protesters. I don't know how to say that, but in case if you hadn't taken a look at it, here we go, guys. That's just basically what it looks like. I mean, you guys can't really see too well. If I can even adjust the camera here a little bit. I'll bet that makes it any better, but here we go, guys. Does that make it better? No, it's just basically the same. But if you want, I'll provide it. If you guys actually want to, I'll just provide it in the description box below. If there's even a description box below. I don't know. This is like my first time actually trying to live stream on here. Yeah, so although the ads are authentic, we found, or Snopes, the source I'm actually getting this from, they found additional examples targeting other U.S. cities where marches were clearly planned. They clearly weren't soliciting paid protesters. On the contrary, they offered temporary sales positions to those interested in hawking march-related merchandise for a 20% commission. For example, March for Our Lives anti-gun violence protest, street team, cash paid, LA. We are hired up until Friday evening at 7 p.m. And yeah, that's just a little bit of it. But we got more. We got more for you guys on that little bit. For instance, alright, still hiring 20 to 25 outgoing salespeople to sell merchandise at the gun March for Our Lives gun control protest. 50,000 to 100,000 people expected at Pershing Square in downtown LA, Saturday, March 24th. We will be selling March for Lives buttons, flags, wristbands, etc. Hours 7:30 to 2 p.m. Earn 20% commission on your sales, average $120 to $300 plus cash paid. We have worked many resistance events, women's marches, etc. in LA over the last year. Our top sales people earned $200 to $400 per event. Interested? Please send your name, recent photo, cell phone number so we can text you work info. And thanks, we will update your work details via text message on Thursday evening. And that was a couple of days ago, guys. So, however, if you did eventually turn out to the protest, thank you. You were actually very good supporters for preventing gun violence ever. Because, well, I'm anti-gun violence, but I love guns in particular. You know, it's actually a little personal there. But to be honest, that's the real truth, right? So anyway, a Google search turned up related ads that no longer extant as of this writing. Soliciting managers for these sales teams, as well as for teams hired to sell merchandise at a March for Science event to be held the following month. All right. So you get all factor, not by better organizers. So we just have to deal a little bit about that. And we're intended to make off of events sure to draw large crowds, not to recruit paid participants in those events. Wall reported in a follow-up tweet that when he answered one of the Craigslist ads, well, try to guess what happened. You got 5 seconds, all right? All right, your time's up. All right, that's actually a little more than 5 seconds, but he received a response saying that although the sales positions had been found or filled, he could receive $50 for expenses if he chose to participate in the march. Right? Hi, Jacob. Thanks for your offer to help us at March for Our Lives. Unfortunately, we don't need any more merch staff. But if you come to participate in the march, we can arrange to Venmo you $50 for your lunch and travel expenses. And then it also provides the website at twitter.com/blah blah 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 blah. Yeah, so that was to Jacob Wool at Jacob A. Wool. That's his Twitter if you want to go follow him. March 25th, 2018. We people like Snopes note, however, that offer of $50 to cover food and expenses does not provide his original claim. The individuals were paid up to $300 each to protest. Moreover, we find it, we all find it doubtful that a significant portion of the estimated 800,000 protesters in D.C., to name just one city where a march took place, there's many others, Atlanta, for one instance, L.A., Houston, any major city in America actually had this deal going on. And yeah, so ended so in response to a Craigslist solicitation for salespeople at $300 per protester, if only a quarter of the DC marchers turned out for the money. Like, someone would have been prepared to shell about $60 million in cash. Yeah, I mean, who wants to give out $60 million in cash? I mean, you better not steal that from the government, people. The government will kick you for that. And by the way, this is not the first time, nor do we expect it to ever be the last, you know? Hang on, guys, that's a little mustache. The partisan groups have tried to discredit protesters by circulating claims that they were paid to show up. It was alleged that without proof in March 2016, for example, that protesters who clashed with Donald Trump supporters at a Chicago event were political operatives hired by Craigslist ads, soliciting troublemakers, and paid by George Soros. Similar allegations circulate in the wake of Black Lives Matter demonstrations in 2015 and 16, but although Soros-sponsored organizations have had a hand in promoting and supporting any number of progressive groups over the years, and even socialist causes over the years, no evidence that the billionaire himself or his philanthropic, I think they wrote. Hang on. Apparently, my website here is crunch freezing up there. A whole lot. I mean, yeah, this is like no big old word there, but entitles entities have directly instigated or funded public protest and to claim that these Craigslist ads were proof of just that earns this of false. There we go, guys. You figured out why this thing is false. 100% false. Because it had nothing to do with George himself, and also because, well, he just didn't want to do it in the first place. But if he did, that'd be a little nice. But still, I mean, who wants to give out $300 just for a protest, you know? Like, that don't make sense. Anyway, make sure you subscribe and all that. Give this video a thumbs up. Check out the links provided in the description. And see you next time. Take care, everyone.